You're back on the air with Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the restaurant brokers, and today we are talking about how you can grow from a single unit to a multi-unit with some superstars in the industry. Remember, We Sell Restaurants is the industry leader in restaurants for sale, franchise restaurant resales, and site location for the food service industry. We currently have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia, and we are franchising our brand nationwide. So, Aziz, let's start with you. I know that you have experience with several different franchisors, and you actually will be the leader of the International Franchise Association. Tell us a little bit about that in terms of what you believe franchisors should be doing, because you said you're their biggest customer. What should they be doing to better serve you as a franchisee?
I think there are a number of things that franchisors can do, and the successful franchisors always do. And the first step is that they have a positive dialogue with their franchisees. They understand that their franchisees are the people that are on the front lines, who are serving the end user, who are fulfilling the brand promise that the franchisor has made. Therefore, not to have a ongoing consultation and ongoing dialogue with your franchisees would seem to be highly illogical. And those brands who do not subscribe to that, over the long term, I think they suffer the consequences because they lose that connection with the retail consumer. So I think having an avenue for the franchisees to chime in their thoughts, to tap into their expertise. I think the industry has long had stories of how some of the best products today in franchising, most iconic products, were actually suggestions of the franchisees, not the franchisor. So I think that's important. The second thing, as I mentioned, was franchisee profitability. You have got to have, as a franchisor, an understanding that your franchisee has to remain financially healthy if you're going to be healthy. So I think that is another really huge component. So I think those two things, that attitude towards franchisees and that commitment to franchisee profitability, I think are two ways that the franchise, and I'll just put one more quick one. Today, there's this big trend towards multi-unit franchising. Every franchisor will tell you that they want to attract multi-unit franchisees, but sometimes the franchisor themselves are not ready for multi-unit franchisees. I can't tell you how many times I'm approached by a franchisor whose organization is actually smaller than mine, and yet they want to attract me in. And I say, that's great, love to come in, but do you have the resources to actually support my team? Because my team will get in there and they will want things that you won't be able to deliver. So I think it's something that they need to keep in mind is, are they ready for multi-unit franchisees before they start trying to recruit and attract them?
That makes a lot of sense. Pierre, you want to weigh in a little bit on this before I ask you another question?
Yeah, I agree 100%. You've absolutely got to be ready. And the franchisee for us at Fresh to Order, they're our customer, they're our guest. We literally treat them as guests. We want to make sure they're profitable. We're there to support them. We're there for 30 days during the opening. Most franchisors are there for a week if you're lucky with 2 people. We go in with 8 people initially, front and back key opener, so front house and back house key opener, and then we layer in another 8 people around them, 4 front, 4 back, and then they layer down as the weeks go on. So in the last week, they're probably only 3 or 4 people, but we commit to 30 days because we want that specific franchisee to be absolutely successful. If they not, we fail. So I always say that the first 3 months determines the next 3 years of sales. If you do not execute perfectly so that the social media can get out there and do its job, that word-of-mouth buzz, it's going to take $300,000 and 3 years to get that business back that you should have had at the end of 3 months. So it's essential that the first 3 months execute perfectly. And the $300,000 is just an arbitrary number in marketing or people or whatever that you're going to have to use to get that business back. But you should have that business after 90 days. If you do your job properly, the social media will just absolutely be out there and will drive people in.
Good. You touched a bit on my next question, actually, about, you are a newcomer in the franchise world in terms of, you're not a legacy brand yet, but there's a lot of competition. We talk about that. There's so many offerings in the franchise food service arena. You're in the fast casual dining segment. What else differentiate you as a franchisor, that franchisees and consumers will come towards your brand?
Well, we're becoming very visible to big brands now, to big companies. When I say big brands, big franchisees who are now approaching us for our brand. First of all, we're definitely on trend in the healthful segment. So people perceive us as healthy, which is extremely important. But we also have full-flavored food. Our food is flavorful. It's not tasteless and healthful.
I agree
flavor
with
and
that.
mouthful.
I
So that's-
love your food.
Thank
Yes,
you. So
we're
that's
big
a
fans.
big deal. And then in addition to that, what's very important as far as where we are, we actually cook our food. If you look at brands today, a lot of them do not flame grill their food as it's ordered. A lot of it is pre-prepared and pre-done, whether it's from a commissary or whether it's made in the morning, even at the restaurant, and then heated up and served. We actually, when you order a salmon panini, that bourbon salmon is dropped on the grill and fired and grilled over a live flame as you order it, and then it's popped inside a panini and it's hot pressed and you get it out. That same salmon can also go on top of a salad or be served as an entree. So we cross-utilize our product very well, but all of it is fresh to order, hence our name, never pre-prepared or pre-done. That's just one of the big differentiators that we have. And there's another 10 that I could go through, but we don't have the time. And we make sure that every single day, all of those 10 key differentiators are hit on in all of our stores. They're our mantra. We have to hit on those to differentiate us from the other players. So people are starting to recognize who we are and what we are. And Aziz is right. You start with guys who want 1 or 2 stores. We're now selling 12 stores, 8 stores, 7 stores at a time, which is what's going on. But we're also growing corporately. We have 2 totally separately run business. One is corporate growth, which I want to do. We do very well at that. And I want to make sure that franchisees understand that we also feel their pain or their pleasure when they do great or their pain when they don't. So for any franchisee coming in, if we had 0 corporate stores, I would run away from any franchisor, quite frankly, that doesn't run their own stores. I would not want to be involved with a franchise system like that because they don't understand what a franchisee goes through. And it's so important to understand their pain points so you can correct them even before they know they have those pain points because you run your own stores as well.
Great feedback. We have literally seconds ticking away. Just tell me one quick attribute of a multi-unit owner, Aziz. Is it hard work, determination? Just one quick one-word attribute of a multi-unit owner.
I think you have to have a passion for the business, bar none. If you have passion for the business, you feel confident to invest in the business. So first thing I tell everyone is make sure you love the restaurant business.
I love that answer, and we have just had a great time today with some really superstars in the industry. We are joined by both Aziz Hashim and Pierre Panos, and this is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the restaurant brokers, and one of the key things we're always asked, how do you grow from a single unit to a multi-unit? And today's show has taken that topic head on. Remember, take a moment. You can find us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Like us on our Facebook page. That's Facebook.com/WeSellRestaurants. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Sell Restaurants. And oh, yes, we're out there on LinkedIn as well as our YouTube channel where you can see video from today's show. Stay tuned for the next segment, Restaurant Reality with Eric and Robin Gagnon, your restaurant brokers.